everyone, and welcome to the As I Amber podcast. As you know, my name is Amber, and I love to talk about music, travel, society, and pop culture. On today's episode, I am going to be talking about night 2 of Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour that happened in Atlanta, Georgia on August 12th. OMG. 10, 10, 10s across the board. Yes, I totally enjoyed myself, thoroughly enjoyed myself. And, I might be biased because I am in the Beehive. I've attended, what is this? My 5th Beyonce concert. And out of all the tours that I've been to, this is the bar. This set the tone for me. If you enjoy like 70s, 80s, old school disco type of music, that kind of era, if you enjoy art, fashion, graphic design, visuals, those kind of things, you will really enjoy this concert because the album is dedicated to the LGBTQ community and Beyonce's Uncle Johnny, who was a gay man, and he used to design her clothes when she was little. And so it's dedicated to that community. Although I am a straight woman, I felt like it was a really inclusive concert because you saw people from all walks of life. The people that were performing on stage with her, like the dancers, the band, the singers that were her background people, everybody was different shades, different sizes, different genders, different orientations, different colors. And it goes to show that she made sure that everybody felt included, which is sometimes where some people miss the mark. And on this particular album, Renaissance, it's dedicated to that community. So with that being said, that lets you know that, hey, this album is not for everyone, and that's okay. So long story short, back in February of 2023, Beyonce released tickets, and it was so hard trying to get a ticket for Atlanta. So I was doing the pre-sale code, and I was picked for Houston. So I was able to get me a Houston ticket for a great price with a great seat with a great view. However, Beyonce added a third Atlanta show for Monday night, and I had my Houston ticket before I had, the Atlanta ticket. So that was back in February. Fast forward all the way to August when Beyonce is in my state, about 2 hours away from where I live. And I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can get a ticket last minute. And I was able to get me a Renaissance World Tour ticket. So I am selling my Houston ticket. So if anyone is interested, as of now, I'm still selling it. If you would like to know the prices, DM me. But I was able to get a ticket last minute. Someone resold their ticket because they weren't able to go anymore. So I got it via Ticketmaster, and it was a lower level seat for Saturday night in Atlanta. I had to be there. So I got it, and I was just grateful and blessed that I was able to get that ticket for a cheap price, because the rest of those tickets, people were literally paying like $800 to sit in the nosebleeds. And I was like, are you kidding me? I love you, Beyonce, but I'm not going to pay $800 to sit in the sky, in the clouds, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to get a good lower level seat for under 200, like a good price, If you've been to Beyonce concerts, usually you were able to get a floor seat for less than $300. This tour, with inflation, with Ticketmaster, with greed, with certain cities having certain sales tax, it was just harder to get a ticket. So I told you pre-pandemic I had attended 4 Beyonce concerts. My first one was On the Run tour back in 2014 when her and Jay-Z did it together. And then I saw the Formation World Tour twice, so that's 3. And then I saw On the Run Part 2 back in 2018. And that was interesting because I always think that I like Beyonce when she's by herself, because I feel like it's a different energy and a different vibe compared to when she's on stage with her husband. And if you've been to Beyonce concerts, she gives a whole different energy when she's by herself. So I appreciated that. Especially cities like Houston, Atlanta, New Orleans, New York, LA, major cities or cities that have a diverse or a largely Black population. the crowd is different. You know, people are comparing it to the overseas crowd, and some of the people in the overseas crowd, they may not have known other Beyonce songs. So if you saw clips from people in like the European countries, they were just very calm and just like sitting there. Whereas in Atlanta, in DC, you know, certain cities, like people were just turned up to the max. And we got to talk about the outfits, honey. So the theme of Renaissance is very much disco, RuPaul's Drag Race, you know, fashion hair show that gives you that kind of energy. And so I saw people dressed as bumblebees. I saw people dressed in like the silver disco cowgirl hat, which is on the album cover, which I have right here because I have it on vinyl too. And last year I had ordered her album and it came with a t-shirt. So I was able to get that album with her on the horse, the metallic horse. And also people were wearing like rhinestones and silver, kind of like her Dangerously in Love album too. So it was just like, do you, boo. We're coming here to have fun. It's a good time, good vibes, good energy. And so I really enjoyed myself. With that being said, I got off the MARTA train because MARTA is cheaper and more convenient to get on when it's a concert in Atlanta. I didn't have to worry about traffic. I was just on and off the train for less than $5. And so I got to the venue and I was going by myself. You know, I've gone out of the country by myself. I do a lot of things by myself, and I'm always cognitive and aware of my safety and surroundings. Plus, I text one of my friends. She lives in another state, but she was coming to Atlanta for the show, so she was seated elsewhere. But we met up before the show, and we talked and hung out, and then we went our separate ways when we got to the arena. And so I get to the arena, and I'm there kind of early, but the doors did not open to the arena until 6. So when I first get there, it's like 5 o'clock and it's raining outside. So what do? I go to CNN Center. If you know where State Farm Arena is in Atlanta, they have like a lobby and a food court. So I went in there and hung out before the show. Then when it turned about 6 o'clock, I got my phone ready. I had my charger with me because I knew I was going to be taking pictures and video, but also I put my phone down and lived in the moment. So I didn't capture every little detail, but I had me a great time, you know? And so that concert ticket said 8 o'clock, but Beyonce didn't get on stage till 9. And I was like, oh my God, like I literally feel like a kid on Christmas. Like I've been waiting, anticipating this. Like, where are you, girl? And so I think in the past, when I've gone to Beyonce concert, she either starts right on time or a little late. And I think they were a little late because they were taking in consideration the fact that it was a Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, which has one of the world's busiest airports, and it was raining too. So I think they were taking in consideration that. So I'm looking around and the arena is filling up with people from all walks of life. I saw young, old, rich, poor, black, white, everything in between, celebrities. On the VIP risers, I saw Tyler Perry. I saw Quavo from Migos. Also, Beyonce's publicist, Miss Yvette, was there with Chloe and Halle Bailey, the two sisters that are signed to Beyonce's Parkwood label, and Halle Bailey, who recently starred as Ariel in The Little Mermaid, and Chloe, who also has a debut album that just released. So it was really cool to see like the different Atlanta people come out. I saw Nene Leakes, Candy from Escape, T.S. Madison. It was just so many different people who were there. And I wasn't on the floor. I had lower level 100 seats, so I was right in the middle, so I could see everything. I had a great view. And so by that time, everybody's getting a little antsy, like, okay, all of a sudden, the sound stage manager or whoever is the lighting technician came out on the stage, and there was smoke, and it was like they were fixing the lights and everything, making sure everything was okay. And then all of a sudden, it gets dark. And like everybody's bringing their cell phones out, freaking out, and there's clouds. Like the stage in the, you know, the background drop are clouds, and Beyonce comes up from at the ground, I think, and she starts with Dangerously in Love and her slow songs from like her first album and Destiny's Child days. So it kind of gave you that evolution, and then all of a sudden it's time for Renaissance. Like, okay, Dangerously in Love, okay, Halo, I'm Going Down by Rose Royce, also by Mary J. Blige too. She sang those songs, and then it's time to get crunk now. All of a sudden, the music changes. and it's like a spaceship. Like you see Saturn on the screens, you see aliens, you see lasers. Like think about like Michael Jackson's metallic like moon boots type of thing. It was giving that kind of vibe. And the arena was just super energetic. And so the arena kind of feels like a spaceship, literally a spaceship, and robots and all this tech stuff. And that's when you hear the voice, "Do not be alarmed." If you're familiar with the Renaissance album, you know what I'm talking about. Alien Superstar, one of the number one, like one of the good songs on the track. I love the whole album, but certain songs always stood out to me. And so Alien Superstar came on, and then she did Cozy, and she had like a bed on the background. It was so much attention to detail, intentionality. On certain songs, when you know T.S. Madison on Cozy's like, "I'm black, I'm beige, I'm fluorescent beige, I'm one of one," like those kind of things. That when you saw that and you heard it, you saw it on screen. And these are not just basic font letters. These are like laser graphics that like look like they could be on a Super Bowl halftime show. It's Beyonce. I know that I've seen her perform multiple times, but each time I am blown away from the set design, from the dancers. Everybody's outfit is similar or different. Their hair, their makeup, you know, you have like 300 or 400 people performing or coming along with you every other day in different states, cities, and countries. And it's just like, I would love to see a documentary about the behind the scenes of putting together the tour. And I was just blown away. And each time she sets the bar higher and higher and higher. I thought it was really cool, the musical transitions. So if you like instruments, you were in band or chorus, or you like that kind of stuff, you would appreciate the fact that she had 4 background singers. And these women were fierce. They sang a cover of Diana Ross's Love Hangover, which is a song from the 70s. My dad has that album, but it was like they hit every note. It was a little medley while she was changing clothes. Then there was a band that consisted of mostly Black people and people of color. And there was a woman who was like, she appeared to be 7 or 8 months pregnant, and she was playing the trumpet and she was getting down. She had a little solo moment. The whole entire arena was going crazy when she was playing. Another thing that I liked was how everybody kind of knew, because you know, Beyonce is Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? So if you're familiar with her music, and if you've been following her tour and looking at different clips from different cities, there's a part in the song Energy where she says, "Everybody go on mute." So when she says that, you're supposed to be quiet for like a good 20 seconds or whatnot, or at least 10 seconds, just everybody on mute. And so the city of Atlanta, Friday night they won. Beyonce said they won because different cities, when she said everybody go on mute, they were still singing and talking, but the whole arena shut up in Atlanta when Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter said on mute. So that was pretty cool. I mean, even before the concert started, like the people around me, they were fans of Beyonce, so they already knew, okay, on mute, we gonna be quiet. So it was really fun. And then it just so happened to be a coincidence that behind me was one of my sorority sisters. I was like, "Hey girl, hey." And so it was just really cool to just, even though I went by myself, I never felt alone because everybody around me was just totally into it. The girl next to me, it was her first time going to a Beyonce concert. The 2 ladies to the left of me, they were like a mother and daughter, or aunt and sister, and they were having a girls' night. It was just like people from different energies and backgrounds were there, and everybody had a good time. Another thing that I really loved, or standout moment, was Miss Blue Ivy Carter. Yes, ma'am. She came out, you know, to the song Power. They'll never take my power, my power, my power. And there's a part in the song where "this my bloodline, this my love line," like, you know, the lyrics. So when she's saying that, when Beyonce is singing that part, her daughter comes out like, "This my bloodline," and they start dancing together, and it's just like a really cute magical, sentimental moment. I love the fact that Blue Ivy's like 11 or 12. I'm not 10, 11, 12. She's in that age range, but she is dressed age appropriately. She is getting down. She is doing her dances. She had her hair in braids and they were in a ponytail. And you know, the first couple of stops on the tour, when we saw the clips from overseas, she was a little, you know, nervous, you know, still getting warmed up. But in Atlanta, she got down. She got down. And even Beyonce was like, okay, Blue. And Blue does her little wave when she's done dancing at the end and she goes in the back of the stage. And then it's like the energy just kept like getting like, I don't even know how to describe it. It just felt like you were at a Super Bowl game and your team won. And Beyonce started to perform Formation. And then there's a part of the show where like the dancers start voguing. So if you're not familiar with voguing, I don't know where you've been, but Google it. So they start dancing and there was this person, I don't know their pronouns, so I'm using they, them, so I'm not trying to be offensive, but they had on like stilettos that were super skinny and this high and doing like cartwheels and somersaults and just, they were slaying it. And they actually had one of the MCs, I forget his name, I think his name on Instagram is like Kevin something. He's an MC for a lot of the house, disco, techno music. So he's the one that's like category number 10, baddie, yes, like all the little background noise hyping everybody up. And he was actually there, so that was pretty cool. Another thing that I really liked was on the screen, she had the words, imagination is more important than knowledge. And it made me think for a little while, like, you know, we always talk about knowledge is power and knowledge is the key, but sometimes people are not creative or their imaginations are stifled. And I like that she has her little political messages without being like preachy, but like imagination is important because this whole process of putting together art and an album and a concert and a tour, that's imagination. Like all this stuff was like written down on paper or typed up or somebody's idea, and to see someone's vision come to life, it's just like awesome. And shout out to Miss Tina, Beyonce's mother, and her father, Mr. Matthew, because I think she's a perfect combination of her parents, like the creativity, the marketing, the strategic, the mind. And I'm looking at Beyonce as she's performing and she's literally glowing, like she's sweating. She's not sweating. That's what I was trying to like, what kind of makeup is she wearing? Like who does her hair? Because it just looks amazing and she looks so good. She is 40 something with 3 children and a husband. She looks awesome. And you know, everybody is not able to sing and dance at the same time. She is performing for 2.5, 3 hours by herself, singing and dancing, and it's just like, girl, are you tired? Like, I just don't, she gets this energy. And her microphone is on. She is not lip singing. She's hitting every note, every 8 count. Like, she is our living legend. And I don't like to compare different artists to people. I've seen a lot of people in concert. I've seen Janet. I wasn't old enough to see Michael Jackson before he passed, but she is my millennial generation's like living legend. Okay, I'm not comparing her to other people because people are one of one. They're unique. They're themselves. But Beyonce is that girl. She said it's not the diamonds, it's not the pearls. It's just that I'm that girl. And some people think, oh, she's cocky. Who does she think she is? She is a Black woman in America who is confident in herself. You know, and some people don't like that. But hey, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the concert, which was amazing. Like, I'm still recovering. Everybody like came in all cute and then it started to rain. So the stadium roof was covered. So I didn't have to worry about getting wet. But coming into the show, you know, people's makeup, and I came in with a sleek ponytail, side pony, and I left, my ponytail was all jacked up. And I'm not even a dancer person like that, but it was just like me singing along to the songs because I like music. I love albums. I like listening to the themes, the art, and I realize this may not be for everyone, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And another thing that stood out, everybody went on mute. That was really cool. Just to hear the whole arena shut up for like 10 seconds was cool. the part in Heated, I had my little fan because I bought me a fan from the beauty supply store for $1 because I wasn't going to go to the arena and spend $40 on a fan, you know. It's crazy to me. But anyhow, on the part where she says, I gotta cool down, heated, you know, like everybody gets their fan and goes like this, and she does her fan too. So I was like, this is my part. Uncle Johnny made my dress. Yes, that was my favorite part. And another standout performance was when she was doing Vogue by Madonna. She does like a remix of Vogue, and she mixes in You Won't Break My Soul. And so the dancers all had on blue, like this blue flame kind of camouflage outfit, was really nice. And when she's doing the Vogue, you see different black women singers' names, or different singers' names come up on the screen. So she'll be dancing, and you'll see Lizzo, Kelly Rowland, Solange, Sade, Jill Scott, you know, Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, like all these, Roberta Flack, Lauryn Hill, like all these different artists that she's been inspired by, she's paying homage to, with their names, Nina Simone, popping up on the screen. And I just thought that was really cool that, you know, she knows that she stands on the shoulders of giants, and she's not afraid to give them their respects. And she also did a cover of a Tina Turner song. It was not Proud Mary, but it was some kind of slow song that I just wasn't really familiar with, but she sang the mess out of that song. And what else am I missing? I told y'all this concert, the Saturday night show, was everything. I told you 10, 10, 10s across the board, honey. Yes. And one of my friends, Zach, he's going to the Monday night show. So we'll probably have a part 2 because I would love to know his perspective of it, since each night brought a different energy. Shout out to my friend La Portia, who has her own show now. And she was on the floor, and Beyonce gave her and her friend Darren a shout out. Like, Beyonce said her name. Like, I love the fact that the attention to detail. Oh, one more thing, the finale. Beyonce was on this glitter silver horse, like a real life-size fake horse. And she sitting on the horse, and it lifts up in the air. And then it sits back down. And then when the horse sits back down, Beyonce starts rising up, floating in the air, and going across the stadium with like this glitter confetti going around. I was like, it was so cool. And I know people have seen clips online and stuff like that, but there's nothing like being in the atmosphere and seeing it for yourself. And I just really enjoyed myself. Like, this is a top concert for me. And I've seen Beyonce, I've seen different artists, and she puts out this excellence, and I'm still processing everything. And I wonder if she's going to do a DVD, she's going to do a streaming, or it's just going to be a memory that I will never forget in my mind. Beyonce, you did that, girl. You did that. Shout out to Parkwood. Shout out to everybody that worked on the show, from the dancers, the lighting, the sound. Like, I was just blown away. So yeah, those are my 2 cents about the Beyonce Saturday night Atlanta concert. If you have any more questions, let me know. I have a playlist of some of the songs that I like from the show on asiamber.com/links. So that's asiamber.com/links. And you can watch on my podcast, as you are right now, or listen on Apple or Spotify podcasts too, if you don't feel like watching. But I really enjoyed myself, and I hope that you go see it for yourself in a city near you. Let me know, are you attending Beyonce's concert? Did you go? What were your thoughts? Talk to you later. Good night or good morning.